Hello and welcome. You're here with Miss Libby Rose. Hello. And in today's series, using the Cricut Maker and the Cricut Easy Press, we're going to be making a stuffed heart with a glitter lotus flower. So if you are looking at making things to sell, maybe you're doing craft fairs or something, this is a really good one for that as well. So to get started, you're going to need the Cricut Maker, the Cricut Easy Press, and 2 pieces of fabric. Now I've cut mine ready 11 by 11, so I've cut it in line with the mat. So I've got 11 by 11, I've checked against my grid, and I've got 2 pieces from some flat quarters that are that size, 11 by 11. And if you do cut it from fat quarters, it does leave you a nice strip at the end that can be useful for something else. So I'm really into my zero waste projects, so anything that we can do to use up our scraps is really good. So also when you're making yourself, if you can just be mindful of how much fabric you use and actually what the excess will be and whether that perhaps would be good for making something else as well. So I've left a nice strip that will be good for another project somewhere along the line, and I've got these 2 squares that are 11 by 11. So I've got those ready. I will need my fabric grip mat for cutting fabric with, and I'm just going to use the standard grip mat for cutting the glitter vinyl. So once you've got all of your materials together, you're also going to need your sewing machine to sew it together, but you could just as easily hand sew this, and some stuffing. So I've used polyfill stuffing, but you could use any sort of stuffing that you like. Also, what's really nice is maybe to add some lavender in there, or some other type of herb that you like the smell of, or even I've just put some essential oils in the one that I made for my friend as a gift as well. So, you know, there's all sorts of options. But gather up your materials, come back. You will need like sewing paraphernalia, like scissors and threads and things like that as well. So gather it all up and come back and let's get making. Okay, so we're back with all of our materials, and first up what we're going to do is get out the standard grip mat and the glitter iron-on. So we're going to work on that first of all. Now if you choose Lotus flower, I've got it all saved below for you, so you can just click on the link and you can use the exact same lotus flower that I have done. So standard grip mat, going to take the glitter iron-on, so I'm taking off my outer plastic and I'm popping down the glitter iron-on onto the standard grip. So I'm lining that up onto the mat. It's nice and sticky, this one. So down, and I'm going to rub. So the glitter and the shiny bit is face down on the mat. Okay, so I'm face down and I've popped that there. Now making sure that it's nice, I use this scraper tool to get it on nice and flat. Okay, so this is ready. Then I go to the computer and I choose my lotus flower, and what I'm going to do is press make it. So it's all set there. It's a cut, so it's going to cut this for me. I go to make it, and it sorts it out for me. It knows that I'm using the 12 by 12 mat, and I click next, and it's just connecting to the machine. So I'm waiting for it to connect to the machine. Then it says set material. So I'm going to set the material as the glitter iron-on. Okay, so it's just got the regular iron-on on here. So I want to browse all materials and choose the glitter iron-on. So I can even type that in, glitter iron, and see if it will find it, glitter iron-on. So it's really important to choose the correct material. So I've got glitter iron-on, and it's telling me even, this is great, it's telling me even, make sure mirror is turned on and material is face shiny side down. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit this and turn it to on. Now it does mirror to on. Now it doesn't matter too much with this one because it is a shape, it's not words or anything, but I'm going to do it anyway just for the sake of it here. So I've got default in there, it's great. I've got the fine point blade in clamp B, so yes, I've done that. Now I'm loading my mat in. Mirror is on, and we are good to go. So now I'm back at the machine and I press the flashing arrow for the mat to go in, and then it starts flashing with the Cricut light and go. So now it's going to cut that mat for me in this lotus flower just like I've chosen. So now that I've cut the lotus flower out, I'm going to press the arrow again and out comes the mat, and I am going to peel off the excess. Okay, so I'm going to peel off the excess, leaving the lotus flower here. Now at this point you can use your little tweezers, or there are certain weeding tools that are really helpful in your kit. So I am going to get all of this glitter off and expose the beautiful lotus flower. So off it comes. So now I can start to weed out all of the other parts to create this extra special lotus flower. So I've got the main shape ready, and then I can see what parts want to come out. So I use my tweezers and any other tool in your toolkit that's going to help you. You don't want to touch your mat too much at this time either. So I'm just using the tweezers. There's also things like a little spatula that could help you too. So you've got this spatula tool that can help weed out. I find the tweezers the easiest tool to use. You see it's really starting to take shape now. And now that I have this lotus flower, all of the excess weeded away, I can now take this off my mat, and so I am left with what I can see here, the beautiful lotus flower, all sparkly and silver, and that's ready to go on to my heart. So that's all set and ready, and I'm going to put that aside, put the plastic back on the mat. So really remembering this as a practice to put back on the plastic so that you keep that mat nice and sticky. So that stays on there, and I'm finished with my standard grip mat for now. And I'm going to go to the fabric grip mat. I'm going to pop the lotus flower on the side for now because we're going to cut the fabric hearts ready. So we're going to get these fabric hearts cut out ready, and then I can iron on the lotus flower. So you might want to turn on your Easy Press to start to get that heated up while the hearts are being cut. So you need your 2 pieces of fabric and your fabric grip mat. So now we're back, fabric grip mat, fabric. Now the first thing we're going to do is change the Cricut machine blade. So I'm ready to cut with fabric, so I'm going to use the rotary blade. Okay, so it's port B. All I do is open up and clip this new blade in. Now make sure that it's pushed all the way down. I have put it up too high before, and the machine's gone away cutting, and it's not cutting anything because I put it too high in the port. So we want to get that down, and it won't let you go any lower anyway. So I've clipped that in port B. Now I'm putting my other blade safely away, and then I will take my fabric and place it onto the fabric grip mat. So I'll get that down. Now we said 11 by 11 that I would get those cut out for. So that's all cut out ready. And I use my tool to get that nice and flat. Now I have overused my fabric grip mat now, so it's really got some nice fluffy bits on there, so it does need a little bit of tweezering to get all those threads and things off, but I'm still going to use it for now. It seems to work out quite nicely. So I've got my mat all set and ready, and all I need to do now is go to my computer and send my heart shapes to the Cricut cutter. So we've got rotary blade in, we've got fabric on fabric grip mat. We're going to cut this twice, so I've got 2 pieces of fabric ready, one for the front, one for the back, so if you want different colours you can. I'm going to now go to my computer and set those hearts ready. So now I'm at the computer and I have got my heart ready. Now I've saved these hearts for you, so the link will be below or in the blog, so you will be able to just go straight to my heart. But if you want to do it from scratch yourself, all you do is go to shapes on the side, choose a heart shape, and I just click on a heart, and then you can just size it up or down to whatever size you want on your mat. So I've made mine 11, and I think at the bottom it goes to about 9 or 10. So that's all set and ready, and I am good to go. So I'm going to press make it. So I know that it's going to cut. I've put my rotary blade in, I'm pressing make it, and the machine's just looking around trying to get things ready. I don't need to mirror it for this heart. Now it's almost as big as the whole mat now, and I press continue. So I've put my mat in place and we are almost ready to go. So I'm going to set the material. Now I'm going to fabric, and I'm just using cotton. So if you're using fat quarter fabric, you can just choose cotton and that should be good to go. And now it's done. And the Cricut light is flashing, so I press it and it's preparing the mat and ready to cut. And now I press the arrow again to unload mat and take off the excess fabric, and I've got my lovely heart ready, so I can take this one off, set it aside with my lotus flower and pop the next one on, and this is ready for heart number 2. So when I'm creating the second heart, this one, it will just know exactly. I didn't press finish on the computer, so it's just going to know to recut it again. So I just press the flashing arrow, we're in, and then the Cricut logo will flash again. When I press on it, it will just cut that heart for me. So it will do exactly the same again, and it will keep going for as many times as you just have it running, okay? So as long as it's still saved there and you just keep running the same project, it will cut exactly the same size, and as long as you are happy with the first one, then it will keep doing that exactly the same, which is great for production. So when I'm doing workshops and I need lots of the same thing cut, it makes it super easy, and it's very precise as well. And we're done. Press the arrow again, and we're off. So now we're back, and I am all ready with the Easy Press. So my Easy Press is nicely heated up, and I have got my Lotus flower, so my glitter lotus flower on top of my heart, ready to go. And so I've just placed it there, so you've got the glitter up in the air facing me, and it's in position. Now if you can see on mine, it's ever so slightly, some of the lotus leaves are coming out just slightly off the edge of my heart. So what I've done is I've readjusted the lotus that I've saved, and I've pulled it down ever so slightly, so on yours it should fit perfectly if you follow mine. So I heard the Easy Press beep at me, so it's all ready to go. And I'm going to heat that on there. I put some fabric over the top just because that's what I like to do, to get that just for extra safety, so there's no plastic bits coming on to my shape, onto my fabric. So I'm putting some nice heat on there. So heating away. And you could set the timer for yours as well. So I could set that timer for 15 seconds. And I'm coming off. And now I can start to peel it off. Now what else I like to do is give it a bit of heat from the back as well. It's just that extra bit. That's the bit of the top of that lotus flower coming off. But yours will fit exact because I've changed it on yours. Giving it a bit of heat from the back too. And now I can peel that off. Beautiful. So that's looking lovely now. So I have got a glitter lotus flower onto my heart. And I'm all set to put the project together. So first up, I'm going to lay the other fabric so we've got right sides together, and pop some pins around the edge here. Now you might want to use some tailor's chalk at this time as well, just to add a little gap. So pop a little gap at the top there, because that's where we're going to put the stuffing in. And if you would like to attach a ribbon in there as well, so that it could turn into a little hanging, you could. So that's just a little option if you wanted to. So we're going to put some tailor's chalk at the top so that you know to stop sewing there. So we're going to put some pins around and sew around the edge. Now I'm going to sew as close as I can to these edges, just leaving a top gap at the top there. So go right ahead, get your sewing machine out, or hand stitch all the way around the edges. So now we've sewn all the way around the edges. If you get your scissors, you can just cut a little bit. So cut the bit off of the end, so off of the edge of the heart at the bottom, so you get a nice sharp point at the bottom, and little snips the whole way around. And these notches or just little cuts are going to give a nice round edge. So when it's turned through, it'll just turn through nice and flat. Now you put some notches or just some little snips around the edge. Then you're ready to turn it through. So we can go to the hole that we left at the top and turning it all through. Now if you've still got your Easy Press on, it would be good to use that now before putting the stuffing in as well, because we can just iron it down nice and flat. It just makes for a nice finish. Now, looking good. So, the more you notch, the nice smoother edges you have. And then going to use the Easy Press to iron it down nice and flat. So I'm going to iron it on the back. Using the Easy Press to make it nice and flat. Roll out the curves at the top roll them out, and then we are ready for stuffing. So stuffing, a little bit of lavender is going into mine. So lavender, stuffing, and in all the way to the bottom first of all. So all the way to the bottom, and around. So stuffing in and around. So I'm popping stuffing in and around. With a nice bit of lavender in there as well for scent. And now finally ready for the ribbon at the top. So ribbon goes in, and then just using your hand sewing needle to sew up this final part. And voila, we're done. I would love to see your version of the lotus heart. Here's mine. Mine is slightly bigger, so my lotus has gone slightly bigger than the heart, but on your one I have resized it just down ever so slightly so you get the full lotus flower in there, but I still like mine as it is anyway, with the ribbon to hang it up to, and lovely smell of lavender. So thank you so much for joining me on this make. I hope you've enjoyed all of the Cricut makes I've been doing lately, and if you give it a go as well, I would love to see it. So please do share at Miss Libby Rose. And yeah, enjoy, happy making, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.